teeth fixed so that way you can have a smile for it. But there's also another dude. He has blue eyes. I can't remember his name, but he considers me a blue-eyed nigger. He said it repeatedly, many, many times. And yeah, so I was thinking about that earlier today. It's kind of mind-blowing. That's awesome. So, which part of it's awesome? The fact that people don't like me, or my GoFundMe page? You know? Yeah. But I was just thinking about that. It's like you got people like no, yeah. GoFundMe. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking about that when I woke up for some odd reason because I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was like, you know, it's odd how some people will just listen to other ones. Like, because Brian Loma's always talking shit about me. Brian Loma's a deadbeat dad, an admitted pedophile, hates me. He owes a whole bunch of people money from a job that he was the manager at, and he embezzled and committed extortion. He's never paid taxes, all right? Dude owes 20 years of, what do you call that? Hey, good morning. Carol, I had some weirdo stuff in my head, and I wasn't sure if it was you or not. Because I remember Brian was talking a whole bunch of shit, and I was wondering if you were there when Brian was saying that I should be raped and have my hair cut. But, I was talking about that because there's that other blue-eyed dude who hates me at the feed, and he's come at me with a hammer before, and he's called me a blue-eyed nigger, and I wasn't sure. That wasn't you? All right, then sorry, my bad, because I wanted to talk about all the times that I said bad things to bad people. And so I wasn't sure if you were there or not, because I remember Brian was there, and the dude who has blue eyes, who hates me for being blue-eyed, was there. And I pointed him out in morning live streams on occasion, and he's even admitted to it. And I wasn't sure if it was you or not. That's why I was bringing it up, because because I told the people the same thing back to them. And I said early in this live stream that I thought it was you, and I said bad things about you, and I wasn't sure. And so I wanted to, no. If it's not you, then I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong. It's just I woke up today thinking about when that dude came at me and hit me in the head with a hammer, and it was the Occupy Denver code. Several people had them. Brian had one on, that dude had one on, and I remember that you have one, and it just clicked in my head, but I can't remember which person it was. So I brought it up, and I was reading these chats before I was able to speak all the way, and so I'm sorry for wrongfully bringing it up, because I just remember that several people were there talking about trying to cut my hair and just have me raped, And that dude had a hammer, and my arm was still in a cast. And he hit me in the head with a hammer, And I remember reporting it to authorities when I was in Washington, D.C. And yeah, it happens, See, that's what I keep reading and hearing these text messages, and I keep losing my train of thought because I wanted to apologize to those who I got wrong, and I wanted to. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't wear the thing. I thought you had one of those, and see that's the thing, because I got hit in the head with a hammer and I can't remember properly, and yeah, and it happened at the Sunday breakfast, because that dude hates me, because there's those because I pointed him out before on a live stream, and I wasn't sure who was who, and I wanted to ask you about it, but it was in my head, so I just started talking about it earlier, and then Because I told those same people, like the one dude who has blue eyes, he's taller than me. He hit me in the head with a hammer, and then he was talking about how I should be raped and murdered, and people should shave my beard and my hair. And I remember who was it? I was at Brian Loma's apartment, and I think Helen had a clippers, and they were talking about cutting my hair and my beard, you know. And yeah, it all happened around the time that I got beat down in the hospital. So I do apologize for getting the wrong person, but I know that tall dude had a woman standing next to him and had a son, and she was talking about how I needed to have my hair shaved and I needed to be raped. And I made a comment. I was like, "Oh, well, I hope your son gets raped in front of you." Blah blah, this and this, and they were talking about cracking my teeth, and this girl was talking about getting her teeth fixed also. So I truly do apologize for getting the wrong person. I wanted to ask you in person, but it was going on in my head when I woke up so much I couldn't like hold it back in this live stream because, I was just thinking about all this stuff. And you know, every time every time I see this dude, it's not your fault if I'm wrong. I'm sorry because like who was it? The old lady. I recently found out her name was Laura. All right. She also had said that I needed to be raped and murdered because I didn't want to vote for Bernie. And so I was just thinking about that earlier today because I woke up in a lot of pain and my head was hurting, and then I had it in my head that I remembered. I remember this dude hitting me in the head with a hammer, and all these people talking shit, and they were wearing these coats. And I did mention your name, which was fucked up. So that's my bad because I remember Laura was one of them way back in the day during the election time when she wanted Bernie, and she kept kicking me and hitting me. And and just going through all this shit recently, because how should I put this? 2020 is kind of a little fuzz for me because I did get stoned down, bled out, ran over a couple of times, and then afterwards, that tall dude who hates me for being blue-eyed, even though he has blue eyes, he hit me in the head with a hammer and thought it was funny. And I think he even said like, "Oh, the cops aren't going to arrest you or arrest him because because they're just not. That's how it happens." And so yeah, I got all my shit confused in my head, and when I woke up this, and then I asked a couple of people privately if they remembered anything, and several people mentioned various females, and Carol was one of them. I didn't know Laura's name, but I asked about Laura, and then there were a couple of others. I know Helen and I used to not get along because Helen used to listen to Brian all the time, and I'm kind of civil sometimes. But I had all that shit in my head this morning, and I was like, "Who the fuck are these people?" I'm just going to talk about it on my live stream. He brings clothes, you know. Yeah, and one of the reasons, if I remember correctly, is because he wants to be a lawyer, and I don't like him, or I don't like the Esquires. Well, I don't like him either because he's called me a blue-eyed nigger repeatedly. He spit on me, he hit me in the head with a hammer, and yeah, and I think if my memory serves me correct, he's pointed out a group of people that how should I say, you were near, and it was a while back, and I just had so much shit going on in my head, and I'm starting to like, I don't know if I can say I can properly remember last summer, because all I can really remember is the hate crime and all that, and then afterwards, like I remember during a march, some people tried attacking me, and I grabbed my knife and I stabbed them, and they're only trying to attack me after I was injured, And yeah, I had a cast on my arm, and I had to smack people with it, and I had to grab my blade out of my back pocket, and it was a nighttime march, And yeah, it's just so much stuff that I woke up thinking about. And I just remember, I'll be honest, some people pointed you out, and I was like, I don't remember that. And then, I let it go. And then when I woke up this morning, so much stuff was running through my head, and I was like, holy fuck, I got to talk about this, get this out, you know. And if I remember correctly, the lady did have a son around my age or a little bit younger who came up and talked shit to me, and it was so fucked up, dude. And when I woke up this morning, I was just in such a pissy mood, and I was like, I have to get this off of my head. Or I'm just gonna say or be mad all day. But if that wasn't you, I truly apologize for bringing you up because, yeah, all I can go off of is shattered memories from getting my head smacked in, and then that one dude hitting me in the head after all that happened. And yeah, and we don't get along. And I know some of my prior live streams on Sunday, I was live streaming and I pointed him out, you know, and it was just so like in my head this morning. I didn't know what else to do, and yeah, right now I think I shouldn't have brought it up, but it's in my head and I'm thinking about it because I'm still trying to find out who are those people who said all that shit to me and then attacked me in the head, because that's just what I woke up to this morning. PTSD bullshit. So that's just what I'm going through right now. And getting the wrong person and saying their name is wrong. So I guess I should take down this live stream after it's done, because that's not right to say those things and mention the wrong people, which is fucked up. But yeah, it was, yeah, I've dealt with it. I will see you there also. Um, I'll see you at the feed also. Yeah. Um, it was just, yeah. And then not only that, like people know that my head got messed up. And so I've been repeatedly getting bullshit and lies and just like people will come up like, oh, you did this, this, and this. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And then I'll go back and sometimes it's other people's YouTubes and I look at it and no, it's not me. The sun is out. You have a beautiful day. I'm about to go light my candle and jog. But now I'm trying to wonder who was it who said that stuff to me. It's just in my head. And yeah, I've had to deal with that for so long. People think that they can come up and try to cut my hair and my beard, and I know that blue-eyed dude, tall dude. I've gotten into it numerous times on live streams with him and pointing him out. And he's studying to be a lawyer, and he's all about that's evil elite status quo bullshit. And yeah, you know, um, fuck. But it happens. But anyways, yeah, I will take down this live stream because I mentioned wrong people, but I'm in the middle of it, so it would kind of be a douche move if I try to cover it up without answering to what I said. So, you know, people color your hair. Enjoy coloring your hair. I've never really dyed my hair. Enjoy the coloring of your hair. Um, yeah, you know, just woke up in a little PTSD moment with all this shit running through my head. And then I was like, man, I got to talk about this because I don't know what really happened. I don't know who's who in this because a lot of the times, like I'll get other people who'll just lie to me and say, oh no, this happened, this happened. And I'll be like, what are you talking about? And then sometimes they'll be like, oh, you did this here. You did. And I was like, I wasn't even there. And then, some people were like, oh, that person did this, this, and this. And I'm like, I don't remember that. But then again, I got my head beat in, So, yeah. I rather just run my mouth about stuff than be, how should I say, physically confrontational. Alrighty. Yeah. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles when, you get stoned down, slit open, bled out, and ran over a couple of times. Yesterday I had I guess a meeting, a appointment with a PhD psychologist, and you know, she was like, "Yeah, if you can get out of Denver, leave. If you can go to Cuba, do it. Don't hesitate. Don't give a fuck about what anybody says. If you can escape to Cuba and live in Cuba where it's safer, do it." Because, long story short, she knows about the hate crime, and she knows that certain people, how should I say, like, have attacked me, have stalked me, have associated with the groups I associated with just to get me. And, you know, I even told her, I pointed them out in some of my live streams, and she said, that was good, if there's anything on your head, just talk about it. And so that's what I did this morning, just, man, it makes me feel fucked up that I got the wrong person. But then again, other people gave me those names. So I just wanted to talk it up and bring it up. And while you're here, because I was going to ask you next time I met you, because you know, like everything I just said already, now I'm sounding like a broken record repeating myself. And, and yeah, and I remember those people who said those things to me on my live stream when I started it up and pointed them out at the Sunday breakfast. I brought it up and I repeated all those bad things. As like when I pointed at certain people, it's like this person doesn't like me because of my eye color. He said this, this, and this about me. He's always saying these people are out to get me, and he's always going asking other people why are they not out to get me? I'm a piece of shit. I need to be gotten. Stuff like that. He really doesn't like me, and he's not afraid to show it. And yeah, so I've pointed him out on my live streams, and then talking with the psychologist yesterday, or at least a half hour, maybe an hour. You know, uh, you know, yeah. I was honest with her, and I told her, I was like, hey, this did happen, and afterwards, I was further attacked. People thought once I was injured, now was the time to get me, and so you know. Dr. Horn, that's her name. She was like, "Yeah, be honest. If don't hold things back, even if you're wrong. Just ask, because it's better to let it out there and know people and let people know that these are what you're thinking about than holding it and brooding it on wrong information." And I told her, I was like, "Well, when it comes to getting being a victim, that's not wrong. It's just trying to remember everyone, pointing out everyone, because that happened a lot after I got my head smashed in. People were trying to play me against other people, and then they made false reports, and then I had to deal with that. And yeah, so I woke up this morning just thinking about all that, thinking of trying to figure things out was more of it. And as soon as my live stream started, I didn't start it straight up, or I didn't start it in a manner in which I said, how should I say this? I discussed with the psychologist. I just started with what I thought people told me. Yeah. And, when people point people out, and then some people ask, hey, why are you talking with that person? They don't like you. When they pull me off to the side, and I don't bring it up, and because I just try to blow it off. I'm like, well, that person hasn't told me this, and I'm not going to believe everyone who, because, I talk shit, people talk shit to me, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And Yeah, it's just a bullshit move on my part that I woke up in a. Man, I don't like talking about PTSD to tell you the truth, even if I wake up experiencing it. Because sometimes I wake up, my heart's racing, my mind is just out like racing, and sometimes I'm sweating, you know, uh, and I'm ready to go for combat when I wake up usually. That's the way it is most days, I wake up ready to go. I don't have any guns in my house. When I used to sleep with handguns and assault rifles under my pillows. When I used to have guns in my house, I used to have an assault rifle behind every door. I used to have a handgun near every door, but I don't anymore. And yeah, I've never been afraid to admit that, that's the way I live my life when I have firearms because I'm just used to that. Uh, yeah. So, and like most people, they'll think that's fucking crazy. And I'm like, most Marines will have guns next to any door. Most Marines will have guns under their pillows or in between their mattresses or under their bed. Uh, Not just Marines, most military personnel who's been in combat are the same way. And so me, I don't. I used to not have any knives in my house besides butter knives, and then I had to get like cooking knives. I couldn't live without like cutting knives. So um, I remember when I bought a set of steak knives and a set of kitchen knives, and I was asked by my former PO, Miss Laura Ansart, how many knives do you have in your house? Because because I went to Ross and bought a kitchen set, and I bought a knife set, and somehow the feds found out, and I got told on, and I was like, oh, there's 5 plus 7. I have 12 knives. She's like, why do you have 12 knives in your house? And I was like, oh, well, I have a complete kitchen set of knives, and I have some steak knives with my what do you call that? My silverware set, eatingware set, flatware set, because it's not made of silver, so it's not silverware. And yeah, and like people like I mentioned to Carol that Brian and I don't get along, and Brian has been one of the people who said, "Oh, you said these things to these people," and I was like, "When did I say them?" And other people are like, "No, you didn't, Kenneth. Brian's just making that shit up because he knows your head's fucked up." And I was like, "Oh," and Brian does that a lot with me. He's like, "Oh, these people are out to get you. These people don't like you. These people have been saying this. These people are plotting this against you." And yeah, it's no secret that Brian and I don't like each other. Uh, so that's just some of the bullshit I'm dealing with. And yeah, I do what I can to be civil. Um, Brian accuses me of castrating him on my couch with his taser. It was at the after the Childish Gambino concert in December of 2018. You know, the city of county of Denver told Brian just to basically, end me, get rid of me, terrorize me, torture me. Yeah. And so on occasion, he still does that, dude. And you know, and here I am feeling like a piece of shit because I got the wrong name and everything because people just play me like a fool sometimes because they know that recently my head got messed up and yeah. But yeah, um, but to be honest, I'm not afraid to run my mouth when I'm informed of these things, which sometimes gets me in trouble. And I usually try to only repeat what was said to me, like the blue-eyed dude who calls me a blue-eyed nigger. When I was live streaming, I pointed him out. Yeah, that he accuses me of it. Uh, Long story short, how should I put this? After the Childish Gambino concert, I told him, "Oh, I have to go do my scooter job," because I was charging scooters. And then he came to my house, right? And he had a taser, and I guess his whole plan was to tase me and rape me. Yeah, yeah, that was his plan. He was going to rape me in my own home. And he tased me, but as a Marine, we tase each other all the time. But um, my couch was actually, my living room was rearranged, so my couch was over there. So he tased me. It didn't do anything. So I guess he tased himself, and the taser went into his lap. All right. And so the taser stayed on. He put a brand new battery in it, and he just sat there with the taser in his crotch and his groin at his genitalia on my couch. So that's why I call my couch the Brian Loma castration couch. It's for sale for anyone who wants to buy it. But there's, how should I say, I went and did my scooter job. I went and put some scooters out that were fully charged, and then I grabbed some other scooters and I brought him in. And he was just sitting on my couch with his taser turned on to his genitalia. And after that, I got a job in a moonshine tasting room, and he would come in and, just be Brian. And then it was, what do you call that? Martin Luther King Jr. Eve Day. He plotted against my life, and a huge black dude, like Goliath of a fucking nigger, cold clocked me, and I brought him down. And there's a whole bunch of other shit. Like, they were trying to kidnap and traffic my boss. So, yeah. So, you know, um, yeah, it's always been an issue with Brian because, Brian, I remember the day, what was Martin Luther King Jr. Eve Day before the parade, 2019. Um, uh, oh, I don't know the dude's name. It's just a big dude that was supposed to, they were supposed to like beat me down. And yeah, like, what's his name? Governor Polis was there. A whole bunch of military personnel were there too. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was quite a fucking like covered up event. A couple people died, at least one did. Um, yeah, and you know, so yeah, and they were supposed to do this protest in the middle of the Martin Luther King Jr. parade in front of the what would you call that, the mayor, where they were just going to grab tents and sit in front of the parade for like a minute in an intersection, you know, and they didn't do it because their little plot didn't go down properly. Yeah, they were planning on harming children and trafficking people. And Brian Loma even plotted harm against my boss, who's a high-ranking military personnel. You know, and so yeah, so yeah, ever since he got that job where he was able to embezzle all that money and owe all those people money because, yeah, he still owes me like $2,400 from it. He owes like over 100 women over $1,000 a piece, maybe $2,000 a piece. And I brought it up in some of my live streams, and so I was just thinking about that because yesterday I had a good psychological meeting, I guess, and the lady was like, "Hey, just bring up everything. Don't hold back. If you want to ask people questions, even if you know they're going to lie to you, don't be afraid to ask them. And if you know it's a lie, just ignore the lie and let it go." But her main thing was get the fuck out of Denver. If you or get the fuck out of America. Because I told her, I was like, "Hey, if I can get out of America, go for it. Don't even hesitate. Just leave." Yeah. So, and I told her, I was like, "I'm waiting on that stimulus. I get that stimulus and I'm gone." And she's like, "Yeah, you get that stimulus, go. Get the fuck on and get gone, dude." And I was like, "Okay." Oh my god. Helping me with no, she's basically it's basically pain counseling. That's what it is. I speak to her for about an hour, and I'll speak to her again in 2 weeks. And yeah. Uh, Excuse me. Yeah, because I'm really not on pain meds. I was prescribed gabapentin, and it made me feel like slightly inebriated when I took an amount that made a difference for pain, and it really didn't help. It just made me feel semi drunk, and I was like, man, if I'm not going to no, not on meds. The only thing I take is this topical gel that I rub on my hand and my wound. Yeah, they prescribed me fuck, what was it? 900 milligrams of gabapentin 3 times a day. Didn't fucking work. It just kind of made me loopy and feel like I was slightly drunk, and it didn't even help with the pain. And I couldn't go out and drink alcohol, so I was like, "Fuck this, dude." I quit taking those fucking meds. I even told the doctors, like, "Yeah, I'm not taking these meds anymore. They're not doing nothing." And yeah. But I do. Oh, I have lidocaine patches. I'll wear like 4 of them on my shoulder here. Yeah, they last about an hour sometimes. Oh my god, I was doing jumping jacks the other 2 days ago. Holy fuck, my arm hurt. I had to put on some lidocaine patches. Yep. Yeah. So it's one thing to talk about it. It is an illegal thing to be violent about it, and so um, yeah, that's why I'd rather just talk about it. Uh, I've always tried to be a nonviolent person, and but that doesn't work out. Especially when people find out I'm a Marine, and then they say contest me, and they think it's funny. And they'll come up and they'll shoulder check me or whatever, or they'll keep bumping into me. I deal with it. I used to deal with it a lot more, but with the COVID, nobody's going out, so I don't have to deal with it as much. I used to go to concerts twice a week. I was a subscription to the Jukely app, which for $45 a month you could go to 8 concerts a month at predetermined music venues. So and that was Cervantes, Masterpiece, Cervantes' Other Side. And yeah, yeah, because like when it comes to the tall dude who has blue eyes, he's always trying to be, well, not anymore, I guess, but he's been very negative with me, encouraging violence. He has gotten violent with me. Like I said, he hit me in the head with a hammer after I got out of the hospital, thinking that it was okay because the cops aren't going to prosecute anybody who attacks me. And well, he is right. They're not prosecuting people who attack me, which is shitty, and it basically gives fuel to the fire for other people to encourage harm against me and to commit harm against me. And so, uh, how should I say? I'm really not retaliatorial, but I am going to talk about it and bring it up. So yeah, there's that, and don't know what else to say besides just talk about it, be nonviolent, and go from there. But it's hard to be nonviolent when you're being attacked because I'll be honest with you, when this hate crime happened, I had two knives on me. All right, and I used both of them. Yeah, I shanked motherfuckers down, dude. Motherfuckers beat me in the face with glass bottles, beat me in the head with skateboards, then just started stoning me down with rocks. And then I grabbed my shanks and I was like, ah! Yeah, dude. I got a motherfucker in the throat. I remember when I got brought down and then I crawled over and I got this dude in the throat and I put all my weight on it, right in his throat, dude. And I looked up and I saw some dude just getting executed across the street at the Denver skate park. They were just got him in the back of the head execution style, dude. And I was like, holy shit. And then boom, I took another rock to the face, dude. And I kicked that dude. And I think I stabbed him in the stomach or in between the legs. I was going for the artery that's, in your lower abdomen. Yeah. It was a fucking brutal, bloody brawl, And yeah, I couldn't get away from it. And then when I got blown up and then I got tackled, and that girl came over my right shoulder with a box cutter and just my whole hand all the way to the bone. The only thing that kept my hand on was the bone. And she was like, "This is how Jesus got crucified. This is how you're getting crucified." And then with my right hand, I twisted her hand and broke it, and then I got the box cutter, and I think I got her right forearm with my right hand. I got her right forearm from her elbow to her wrist. I just like this and just slid it open, you know. And then I kept getting beat, and then I kept shanking whoever I could with that. I think I got somebody else in the eye. And I started to walk away, just bleeding out, just gushing blood. I made it to a park bench, and I started to pray. And people just came up, boom, with a rock to the back of my head like it was nothing. And then I got into another fight, and there's some girl right there with her phone, not even 6 feet away, maybe 3 feet away, just like, "Oh, Kenneth, what are you gonna do about it? Ha 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 ha. No, 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 no." Just talking shit, recording it on her phone, dude, like it was nothing. I think maybe it even live broadcasted. But after that, I made it off the park bench. I tried crossing the street, and a car came up and missed me. All right, and then came in reverse. And there was this dude standing next to me who got me with a rock, and there's a car, him leaning against the car, because I was trying to get him away with my good hand. And this car came in reverse and hit me, right? And I sat on the, I got hit and I fell on the bumper, and I held on the back wheel so I didn't fall over, and just crushed that dude, yo. That dude was standing here, there's a car here, and this car just gets his entire fucking, what do you call that? Pelvic area. Crushed that motherfucker. And then did it again and went forward, yo. Oh, I will. You know. So yeah. Thank you, Carol. Uh, I will remember to take this down because it's like a piece of shit move for me to mention improper stuff. But at the same time, like, what am I supposed to do when other people are telling me, oh, these people are saying this, these people are saying that, and then I wake up, kind of in a PTSD fucking mental state, and just like, well, just talk about it and get it off my head because I don't know what the fuck to do. But anyways, yeah, and then after that, dude, when the car went forward, uh, it came back again, and another car came this way, and I was off the bumper, and then that's when I got ran over once, and then they reversed it, and then this car got me too, and I only remember really getting ran over twice, but they said I got ran over at least 5 times, and like it never got put in the news, and I yeah, and then I woke up in a hospital, with a doctor asking me why did I save your oh, the lady who ran me over in the second car, that lady was the head of Denver Health Social Services Coordinator, or she was the head of Denver Health Mental Health Services Coordinator, you know. And when I woke up, I was like, danger, Robinson, danger. She ran me over. That's the lady who ran me over. Somebody call the cops. Somebody call the feds. Call Homeland Security. Call the military. And this nurse is like, no, you're on drugs. You just got out of surgery. And this lady was like, no, he's right. I did run him over. And then she started talking shit. It's like, we stoned you down, we blew you up, we gassed you, we slit you open, bled you out, and ran you over 5 times. How the fuck are you still alive? And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Yeah, yeah, you know, fuck. And yeah, I think about that every day. Every fucking day. I wake up thinking about that sometimes. And I wake up in the middle of the night, like sweating and stuff, like holy shit. My arm is or my hand. Yeah, it's just so much pain sometimes. And I just wake up like, holy shit, breathing heavily, not knowing what the fuck to do, thinking everyone's out to get me and shit. And yeah, and then, some crazy ass shit happened in the hospital. Oh, man. They let, because my surgical team, or the doctors, whoever they were all dressed in green. They allowed um, 2 females, one claiming to be a doctor, one claiming to be a nurse. They were dressed in blue. They gave me a series of injections, and then a few minutes later, I went through lethal injection on camera, and the doctor ordered that I be given the wrong blood to kill me, just to cover it up even further. Put me in hemoglobic shock, which I still experience from the inside. I feel pain in my blood, which is hard to describe, like circulating pain. I don't know how to describe it. I remember the melting sensation from the inside out from the lethal injection. I remember the convulsing, the twitching, the hyperventilating. Yeah, I remember describing everything, how I felt on fire, how I felt like I was being grated with sandpaper. I remember yeah, they all happened in front of the doctors, all on camera. They weren't giving a fuck, dude. And the lady, the nurse, she dropped something. It was, I think, her first thing she was injecting me with, and then the doctor one, the fake doctor, got pissy. Was like, "What the fuck, yo?" And The nurse reached into her pocket, pulled out another one. She's like, "This ain't my first rodeo," and right into my IV. What was found, what was dropped, was underneath my bed. And so they ran it. They did a little test on it to see what it was, and it was some type of pharmaceutical that gets rid of everything in your system. Covers up so you can't tell what somebody has already given you in a UA or a blood analysis. You know, so and when the doctors told me that, I was like, "Oh, isn't that very convenient for you all? Because now you can't even tell what you all did put in my system." And like, yeah, you're right, Kenneth. What are you going to do about it? And then the judge kept asking me, "Kenneth, why did I save your life?" And eventually I rebutted, "Doc, ask the lady who slit my wrist." You know? So yeah, you know, just the shit I have to go through my head, and every day, especially in this country. Don't know what else to do. Don't know what else to say. It's fucked up. There's not much I can do about it. So yeah, it's shitty that I don't get proper medical treatment. I don't get treated nice, and a lot of people constantly lie to me and believe that I should be harmed. You know, and a lot of them will play it off like it never happened. They're like, "Oh, Kenny's crazy, but it's okay. I forgive him." And in my mind, I'm like, "That's bullshit." You know? Oh my fuck. Oh my god. So how do I take down this video? It takes a few hours before it processes from the live stream. I'll have to look into that. Oh, my god. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I deal with. They even brought up RTD in the hospital. Yeah, dude, all sorts of shit. Because I said it's a RTD, rape, treason, death. Um, because they were trafficking children on the W line light rail on an out of service light rail. And RTD was like, "Oh, how are we supposed to know what's going on our light rail?" Well, besides the fact they all have cameras and you can monitor trains on your light rail. Oh, Google Maps knows where your light rail trains are at all times. Oh my God, RTD, how do you not know that somebody's driving a train and that there are RTD security and that it has children who have been kidnapped that they're trying to sell? Yeah, dude. And then they were saying RTD was tried playing it off like, "Oh, well, those kids violated the curfew." What do you mean? A couple of kids under the age of 8, like 5, 6, 7 year olds, were kidnapped by RTD employees, put on a light rail that was supposed to be out of service, and now they're violating the law, violating a curfew. No, they're victims, all right? they're not violating curfew because there was no curfew back then. Like right now, there currently is not a curfew. There is not a curfew, dude. Yeah. Yeah, so RTD tried playing it off, saying, well, it was okay for our employees to rape and murder children and sell the ones that didn't get murdered because those children were violating a curfew. What? What the fuck, dude? Four, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah, so they brought that up in the hospital, yo. They're like, oh, well, you made RTD look bad. And some of the people who attacked me in the hate crime, employees of RTD, yo. Yeah, yeah, it just got covered the fuck up. Oh, that's what I can do today. I'll live stream it. I'll go to what is that, the 6th precinct or the 9th precinct, the one that's on Clarkson and Colfax, or Washington and Colfax, and I'll go there and I will see about getting my property because they gave me a case ID number for my hate crime. I'll go get it. Alrighty. So, this is my after visit summary. Alrighty. My surgeon was Dr. Livermore, Department of Orthopedic Surgery. My procedure, left wrist IND UARA primary repair, SPR repair with nerve tube, UNMN allograft repair, FPL, FCR, FCU, FDP, FDS primary repair, PLPB or PLBR not repaired. Date 6/22/2020. Yeah. Diagnosis, left wrist laceration, and the concussion, and the broken ribs, and the poisoning, and the gassing, and the bombing. And let's not forget that they allowed me to be lethally injected, and they also gave me the wrong blood, which they recorded in my MyChart just to rub in my face, saying, hey, we did what we could to kill you. Fuck you. All right, so they wrote down at the hospital when they gave me this, they wrote, I don't know if you can see that properly, for personal effects, 720-913-2000, option 0. And then the case ID number, (20-378288). Oh, there it is. Case ID number 20-378288, 14th and Delgowny, around 8:30 p.m. It was actually around 19th and Little Raven, but I think they may have picked, who knows? Because remember, it's all being covered up. So, my case ID number is 20-378288. Take a little picture of that. Coalfire is hiring. Those are one of the companies that most likely will never hire me. Coalfire, VMware, Carbon Black. You know. Oh man, there's this terrorist named Isaac Acuna. Uh, yeah, he told me his mother was involved in like selling child porn, and that she worked at Coalfire, and that I do everything I can to destroy child porn, and so they all fucking hate me. But, yeah, I just got an update from LinkedIn. Okay, excuse me. Oh. Alrighty. Yep, there we go. I just took a picture. 20378288 case ID number. Sergeant Bronson was the name I was given. Yep. Yeah. Man. So we'll live stream that after my jog, ride my bike down there and then ask about fuck, this hurts. That's why they have my ID. They have my passport card and a debit card, some keys. Yeah, dude. Or they may have 2 debit cards. They may have my passport card, 2 debit cards, my keys. They said they had my bike, Oh, man. Yeah. So, it's kind of a downward spiral, the Americans and I. I'm not afraid to admit that I spoke of SARS-CoV at the Elways. I'm not afraid to admit that, when I was at DIA, they threatened me with arrest, and I told Star Dragon they threatened me with arrest one more time, activate another 18 mutant strains of COVID. This whole thing where they think they can touch me inappropriately, put handcuffs on me, which is a war crime, or try to arrest me and think that they're going to get not get put in check. No, this has got to stop, dude. And if it's got to be COVID, then it's got to be COVID, right? Because I don't understand how these people who eat off the other people's paycheck think they're God, and they just surround themselves with their kind, and like look at all the cops in Boulder. I heard that they all got raped by Marines, in front of like the high school or whatever, and then their kids got raped by Marines. And then I say messed up things like, I don't understand why they're complaining. I heard they weren't that good. I also heard their kids weren't much better. So, oh my fuck. But that's the way it happens, right? That's just the way things fucking go, dude. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And yeah. So, because honestly, right, in the state of Colorado, uh, you're not allowed the police. Abraham Lincoln, to the best of my knowledge, the last act he signed prohibited prohibited the police and the KKK. It required federal troops to remain in America indefinitely. All states, territories, provinces, commonwealths in interest of America, past, present, and future, to prevent the formation of the police and the KKK. So yeah, Um, yeah, just don't know what else to do when all these terrorist traitors and insurrectionists eating up other people's paycheck. I think it's funny because they just surround themselves with their like-minded kind, give their kind guns and badges, and think it's legit. You know, like here in the state of Colorado, even if you're a felon, you're still allowed a gun. That's our constitution. Um, yeah, yeah, that's why you used to get a gun, a horse, and a gold piece when you got out of prison in Colorado. Hmm. Yep, that's the way it is, right? Hmm. Oh man. Oh fuck. So, anyways, I started my GoFundMe page. Um, because yeah, numerous people have made money off of my psychic information, and if they would like to give a kickback, that'd be nice. Oh, man. I rub it on my other hand just because, how should I put this? When I'm rubbing my bad hand and my good hand has this dry spot, kind of hurts. So I lube up my good hand also. You know. Oh my god. Holy fuckery. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. A lot of people in this town hate and despise me because I do what I can to stop child sex trafficking and child pornography. And a lot of people in this town are all about that, dude. Yeah, it's like John Elway at Elway's, the day I mentioned SARS COVID, later on after that, we were in the parking lot smoking some weed. And John Elway mentioned, I brought up Mike Vick, and he was like, that dude raped and murdered a child. He actually didn't do, what do you call that? Pit bull fighting. Or maybe he did. Maybe he did. But, um, yeah, he actually raped and murdered a child, and the pit bull fighting was a cover up for that. You know, John Elway told me that. You know, so yeah, so look at that, dude. Holy shit, dude. And John Elway said like he once came to Denver to audition, and all they did was rape him, which is fucked up. Yeah, dude. Right? That's America in a nutshell for you. Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh. Oh wow, because alrighty. There we go. Hoorah. Alright, everybody. Y'all have a beautiful day. Don't know if I can bring this down right now, but I will see about it. So, yep. I'm going to cut this live stream and see if I can do what I can. So, y'all have a beautiful day. Stay warm, healthy, safe, and sober if you choose it, because I'm choosing sobriety. Peace. Love you. Be good.